Hey everyone, it's George from Blockchain TXP and today's the 21st of June 2023 and the global cryptocurrency market, guys, is definitely looking green, and there are two reasons why that thing has happened. Firstly, it is because of BlackRock getting into the Bitcoin ETF game, but more importantly, guys, what happened little over a week ago, the US debt ceiling was increased, and because of that, there's going to be a lot of new funds which is going to be injected into the market. And as I mentioned, guys, a few weeks ago, once the US debt ceiling limit is increased, the market is going to get a breather, and that will have a positive impact on the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, and looks like that is exactly what is happening right now. So it's going to be really interesting to see how the price reacts, particularly over the weekend. Now, one of the biggest tokens that is pumped up to the moon is that of STX, and in today's episode, guys, I'll very briefly go ahead and explain what STX is, the founders, and what are the unique features. Now, mind you, guys, I've mentioned about STX in the past as well, but in today's episode, I'll try to give a more polished and comprehensive overview of STX protocol. And guys, we have some massive news regarding Germany, and Deutsche Bank is definitely getting into the cryptocurrency space, and they have applied for license to offer crypto custodial service. So we'll definitely go ahead and talk about it. Now look, guys, ever since 2023, there is a lot of news regarding Bitcoin ordinals and NFTs getting into blockchain, but one of the shocking news is about the entire Metaverse being built on Bitcoin blockchain as well. Now, the possibility is definitely wild, but it is still possible, and we'll definitely go ahead and look at what that news is. But to be honest, guys, having an entire metaverse built on a centralized protocol is definitely much better than, let's say, having it on a distributed platform. And guys, a few weeks ago, I did talk about NFT volumes going down, but looks like that thing has changed drastically, and the NFT buyers have surged by 95%, and we have some news regarding Nike. So we'll definitely look at some numbers so far as NFT is concerned, and guys, we also have some news regarding Nike, and they are planning to bring their Swoosh platform, which is NFT related to one of the biggest gaming platforms called as Fortnite. So definitely positive news. And guys, like we do in every Crypto and Coffee Date podcast, we have two news from Dubai, UAE and the Middle East. And the first news is regarding Abu Dhabi University, and they did actually have a blockchain hackathon event to advance students for future-proof knowledge, so we'll definitely go ahead and talk about it. And guys, Firechain, which is a company which is established in Abu Dhabi, is definitely part of them. And the second news, guys, has to do with artificial intelligence. And the news is that the Dubai Center for Artificial Intelligence is planning to establish dedicated task force within 30 government entities. And look, guys, I've said this several times in my podcast, the Dubai government and the UAE government is definitely very proactive and taking steps in the right direction so far as blockchain is concerned, so far as cryptocurrency is concerned, and looks like now even in artificial intelligence space. So quite a lot to cover, guys, in today's episode. So let's kickstart with it right away. Welcome to the Crypto and Coffee at 8, the daily podcast that keeps you up to date on all latest developments in the world of cryptocurrencies, blockchain, and NFTs. Join us Monday to Friday as you kick off your day with a cup of coffee and a deep dive into the exciting and rapidly evolving world of digital assets. We'll cover the latest news and trends in the cryptocurrency and blockchain space, as well as delve into the growing world of NFTs or non-fungible tokens and Metaverse. Plus, we'll keep you updated on the latest developments from Dubai, UAE and the wider Middle East region. Whether you're a seasoned crypto enthusiast or just getting started, Crypto and Coffee at 8 has something for you. Our expert host will provide insight and analysis on the most important topics in the industry and help you stay up to date on the latest developments. We'll bring you interviews with leading figures in the crypto and blockchain space and explore the ways in which these technologies are changing the world around us, from the impact on traditional financial systems to the potential for revolutionizing industries and transforming societies. We'll cover it all on Crypto and Coffee at 8. So tune in and join us for a daily dose of Crypto and Coffee at 8, and let's stay ahead of the curve together. We'll start your day off right with the most important news and insights from the world of cryptocurrency, blockchain and the Metaverse, and help you navigate this exciting and rapidly evolving landscape. In Crypto and Coffee at 8, the daily podcast covers the latest developments in the world of cryptocurrency, blockchain and the Metaverse. We'll also bring you updates on the latest news from Dubai, UAE and wider Middle East region. This also includes a range of topics such as developments in the local and blockchain industry, including new projects and initiatives, regulatory updates, and policies related to cryptocurrency and blockchain in the region, local and regional events and conferences focused on crypto and blockchain, interviews with leading figures in Dubai, UAE and Middle East crypto and blockchain community, coverage of any significant news or events related to cryptocurrency and blockchain in the region. By covering these local and regional developments, in addition to the wider world of cryptocurrency and blockchain, Crypto and Coffee at 8 aims to provide a comprehensive overview of the industry and its impact on the Dubai, UAE and Middle East region. Now before we kickstart today's episode, I have an important message, so check this out. Shalu Group, a luxury retailer and distributor which is headquartered in Dubai, are getting into the NFT game. And here's the deal, guys. They are not just getting into the NFT and Metaverse space, they are going to be shaping the NFT, Metaverse and Web 3.0 space, which I believe is excellent not just for Dubai and UAE, but also for the global cryptocurrency community as well. And guys, Shalu Group's Web 3.0 sneaker brand called Soulmates revealed their first NFT collection on the 12th of April. Now what is really interesting is that it's called as Soulmates, so it's spelled as S for sugar, O for orange, L for Larry. Now instead of E, they've replaced it with Web3 and it is the number 3, mates.xyz. And guys, listen, Shalu Group has over half a century's worth of experience in luxury goods, and them getting into the NFT space is a massive deal. Now if you're a sneakerhead, you definitely need to check out soulmates.xyz. And once again, guys, the number is 3 instead of an E. It has all the information, and in the show notes below, you'll get all the information. And listen, guys, if you want to be an early adopter, you can also pre-mint it at www.premint.xyz/soulmates. So definitely check it out. And they have a Discord community as well. And guys, Nick, who is the head of corporate innovation at Shalu Group and also the co-founder of Soulmates, has a WhatsApp group where he constantly provides updates in the area of NFTs, Metaverse and Web 3.0. So guys, check out soulmates.xyz and be part of the Soulmates OG NFT that is definitely going to shape the industry. Next, Startup OI is global one-tech platform for tech. It offers global high-paying tech jobs with flexibility in working time and location, global free tech events, and tech networks to connect with global like-minded engineers. A brilliant platform to listen to the tech experts in Metaverse and to grab their insights. Now listen, all you have to do is download the app Startup OI. If you're using an Android version, go to Google Store and App Store for iOS devices. Alternatively, you can also click on the show notes below to download Startup OI. Next, guys, listen, if you're into fitness, if you're into adventure, if you want to do something wild but still want to keep your health in check, there is a new podcast in town, a podcast focusing on obstacle course race in the Middle East. The podcast is called the Race Pace Podcast. So check out the Race Pace Podcast across all leading platforms. And the Race Pace Podcast is a peer-to-peer community-driven podcast where they talk all about obstacle course race in the Middle East, from Sandstorm to Spartan Race, from Tough Mudder to Desert Warrior Challenge, and also the Government Gov Games, and quite a lot more. The podcast has interviews with athletes locally and internationally to get inside scoop on how athletes prepare for obstacle course race. In the podcast, they also talk about interesting stories on why they are motivated to do obstacle course race. And that's not all. They also plan to release 7 NFTs. And these NFTs are no ordinary. These NFTs will represent every emirate in the UAE. And listen, guys, these NFTs are going to be absolutely massive. So do one thing, go to Spotify, go to iTunes, go to any leading podcasting platform and search for Rise in the Obstacle Course Race podcast. And finally, guys, not your keys, not your crypto. If you have dabbled with cryptocurrencies and now are seriously getting to protect your cryptocurrencies, there is no better way to protect it by using a hardware wallet. And this is where Ledger Wallet kicks in. And Ledger Wallets are hardware cryptocurrency wallets made by Ledger, a company headquartered in Paris, France. And Ledger's hardware wallets are multi-currency wallets that are used to store private keys for cryptocurrencies offline. And Ledger offers 2 hardware wallets, the Ledger Nano and Ledger Nano X wallets. They are world-class experts with extensive crypto security backgrounds. They continuously look for vulnerabilities in Ledger products in a constant effort to improve the level of security. Now, in today's world, securing these digital assets is a critical challenge, and this is where Ledger kicks in. So click the link below to buy your hardware wallet and support this podcast. It is a brilliant way to support this podcast. So what are you waiting for? The link is in the show notes below. Now guys, since you've taken care of that, let's kickstart by looking at the global cryptocurrency market. Now as of today, it is at $1.11 trillion, and just few days ago, guys, there was a possibility of the global cryptocurrency market to go below the $1 trillion mark, and looks like BlackRock, which is if not one of the biggest retail giants, is definitely trying to save the Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency industry as well. And it's going to be really interesting to see if the Bitcoin ETF is approved. But my big question is, guys, What if for some odd reason the SEC does actually decide to go ahead and decline BlackRock's Bitcoin spot ETF? Unfortunately, the prices will crash once again, but it is extremely unlikely that the SEC will actually go ahead and decline BlackRock's ETF. Now, since the last 24 hours, the global cryptocurrency market has pumped up by 3.73%, and guys, if you look at the total volume on the last 24 hours, it is at $37.56 billion. Now, what I want you to do is look at this volume with the 24-hour trading volume. Now, Bitcoin's 24-hour trading volume is definitely pumped up to $22 billion. And if the global cryptocurrency market is increased, and if the 24-hour trading volume is increased, it just means one thing, that people are buying these cryptocurrencies. So definitely positive news. And the global cryptocurrency market, guys, in the last 24 hours is up by 44.71%. The volume on DeFi, though, is not looking good, and it is only at $2.29 billion. And so far as the total value locked is concerned, guys, it is only at $43.35 billion. And if you look at the 24-hour volume via DeFi Llama, the DeFi volume is only at $1.8 billion. Ideally, guys, I'm looking at the number somewhere between, let's say, the $16 to $20 billion range. The Lido is still dominating so far as total value locked is concerned, and it is at $13.18 billion. And unfortunately, guys, DeFi is accounting for a lesser percentage in comparison, let's say, to stable coins. It is accounting for only 6.10% of the total crypto market 24-hour volume. Now let's quickly look at the 24-hour volume of DeFi protocols, and Uniswap is number 1 with $781 million. And once again, guys, if you were to compare it with the volume of Dodo, which is currently number 4th, there is some correlation. Now, Dodo is number 4th at $81.5 million. But before that, let's quickly look at the number 2nd protocol, and it is PancakeSwap at $215.7 million, followed by Core Finance at $199.89 million. And number 4th, guys, is Dodo at $81.5 million, and finally Balancer at $71.86 million. Now look, guys, in an idealistic world, and in order for cryptocurrency to go mainstream, the volume of DeFi should definitely be at least 5 or maybe 10 times that what it is, and the volume of stable coins, or rather the volume of stable coins in comparison, let's say, to the total cryptocurrency market volume, should definitely be less than 94%, because as of today it is at 94.27%, and the volume is only at $35.35 billion. I really would like to see this volume being replaced, let's say, in DeFi protocols, or maybe even in Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, or maybe even in meme coins, to be honest. Because stablecoin, guys, as I said several times, do not follow the ethos of open blockchain. Now, out of this $35.35 billion, Tether USDT accounts for $27.18 billion, followed by Circle USDC at $4.6 billion, and Binance BUSD, guys, at $2.39 billion. Now, in tomorrow's episode, guys, I'll give very brief explanation on what Binance BUSD is. Now, in today's episode, I'll definitely go ahead and talk quite a lot about STX protocol, because since the last 24 hours, it has definitely pumped up to the moon, and it is up by well over 20%. And if you look at it over a period of 7 days, STX protocol is up by well over 74%. And this, to be honest, guys, is mostly because of Bitcoin ordinals being built on Bitcoin blockchain. Now, before we get into that, let me quickly run through the market cap, 24-hour trading volume, and dominance between Bitcoin and Ethereum. Now, Bitcoin's market cap is $549 billion, followed by Ethereum at $215 billion. And if you look at the 24-hour trading volume, guys, something which I did mention earlier, Bitcoin's 24-hour trading volume is pumped up to $22 billion, and Ethereum has marginally pumped up by $7 billion. So it looks like people are buying a lot of Bitcoin as opposed to, let's say, Ethereum. Now, the dominance of Bitcoin is definitely pumped up, and it is currently at 49.15%, and Ethereum is at 19.30%. And guys, listen, if you were to look at the market cap of smart contracting platform, guys, Ethereum is number 1 at $215 billion. Binance BNB, unfortunately, has been on a downtrend, and it is at $38.5 billion. And just few months ago, guys, Binance BNB chain, which is the second most platform used for smart contract, used to hover somewhere between the $45 to $50 billion mark. Now, because SEC is aggressively going after Binance, the market cap of Binance BNB has gone down. And as a matter of fact, I'm just looking at Binance's stablecoins market cap. That is Binance BUSD. It is down to $4.26 billion. Now, keep an eye, guys, on what is going on so far as Binance BUSD is concerned. Now, despite the global cryptocurrency market is going on an uptrend, unfortunately, Binance BUSD's market cap is still going down. I wouldn't be surprised in the next few days, actually, that the market cap of Binance BUSD might go below the $4 billion mark. Now, the number 3 so far smart contracting platform is concerned, is Cardano, and it is at $9.41 billion. And guys, listen, ever since Coinbase decided to delist Cardano and other protocols, the market cap and usage of Cardano has fallen down miserably, because the market cap of Cardano used to hover somewhere between the $13 billion mark. So it looks like over 30% of Cardano's market cap has also completely disappeared. Now in today's episode, guys, let me very briefly run through protocols that are dealing with file storage. And listen guys, when you talk about Web 3.0 and blockchain technology, to be honest, there are very limited use cases. Now one of the use cases that I can think of is, let's say, educational certificates. The hashing of the certificates could directly go into a blockchain and it can be stored in the blockchain. So the actual hash code can be stored on the blockchain, but what happens to the data? Now there are several different protocols that deal with file storage, and think of it in comparison, let's say, to Dropbox or Apple's iCloud. Now there are two ways of looking at it, guys. These are centralized entities, but if you look at it from a different point of view, these centralized entities are in a position to offer customer service and, to be honest, may be able to offer you protection in case of theft or hack as well. But so far as blockchain is concerned, unfortunately, there should be no customer service and there should be no way to get your data back as well. So these are some of the dangers of having decentralized or distributed file storage system as well. But the number one protocol is Filecoin, and if you look at its market cap, it is at $1.63 billion, followed by BitTorrent at $443 million, and the third one is Arweave at $335 million. So the big question is, guys, do you prefer a distributed file storage system or do you prefer a centralized entity? Personally, guys, I would prefer a centralized entity, because let's say if this data were to be hacked or if there's something that would go wrong, I would be in a position to speak to a centralized entity and get my queries resolved, and that, to be honest, will give me peace of mind. But let's say, guys, if you have some really sensitive information and if you do feel that a centralized entity, let's say like Google or Apple, could be benefited by it, in that case I would prefer, let's say, a distributed system. But what happens, let's say, if there are some government related projects or government related protocols that do require data that needs to be stored? Would you prefer a centralized entity or would you prefer a distributed system? Mention them in the comments below. Now guys, let's very briefly run through STX, and the ticker symbol for STX, guys, is STX, and the price of it right now is at 74 cents. And if you look at it via CoinMarketCap, it is currently ranked 40. And listen guys, STX has been making quite a lot of news, particularly since 2023. But if you've been in the Bitcoin and blockchain game, you should have definitely been aware of what STX protocol is, because STX, guys, is a Bitcoin layer for smart contracts, and it enables smart contracts and decentralized applications to use Bitcoin as an asset and settlement transactions on the Bitcoin layer. Now Bitcoin, guys, as we know, is the largest, most valuable and most durable decentralized asset, and the STX layer unlocks $500 billion worth in Bitcoin capital using the Bitcoin One layer as settlement for decentralized application. Now mind you guys, this number might have changed, because what I'm doing is I'm looking at information via CoinMarketCap, and let me try to give us some bits and pieces of information, because STX, guys, has knowledge of the full Bitcoin state thanks to its proof of transfer consensus and clarity language, enabling it to read from Bitcoin at any point of time. And guys, all transactions on STX layer are automatically hashed and settled on Bitcoin layer 1, and STX blocks are secured by 100% Bitcoin hash power. And guys, in order to reorder STX blocks or transactions, an attacker will have to reorganize the entire Bitcoin blockchain. So definitely powerful protocol, to be honest. Now let's look at the founders of STX. Now mind you guys, I've definitely covered STX in the past as well, but this is more of a polished version. Now the project of STX did actually start in 2017, where Munib finished his PhD, and his thesis actually laid the foundation for STX layer for Bitcoin, and he did release the original white paper. And at that point of time, guys, he raised $50 million. Now very specifically, remember guys, Bitcoin maximalists were completely divided on it. Some people did not want absolutely anything to do with it, whereas some technical nerds, they definitely liked the idea. But what you need to remember is that the early team built protocols and apps on Bitcoin layer 1 before they began working on STX in 2017, and some of the early visions of the projects were also represented in TEDx talk as well. And in 2019, guys, STX was the first ever SEC qualified token offering for general public, including the US as well, and they disclosed everything and anything about the project, the company, and people as well. Now let's look at some bits and pieces of information. And guys, they did make several changes between the era of 2018 and 2020, and the team was heads down building on the Stacks infrastructure, which is essentially a programming language for Bitcoin, and essentially it works like a blockchain with cross-chain consensus with Bitcoin, and the language that they use is Clarity language as well. So let me very briefly try to explain what Stacks protocol is and what is it that makes it unique. Now, as a Bitcoin layer for smart contracts, Stacks has the following innovations that make it unique, and in the future release, Stacks will be secured by entire hash power of Bitcoin, giving it Bitcoin finality, and Stacks guys will soon have a novel backed Bitcoin that is one-to-one backed with Bitcoin on Bitcoin layer 1 and can be moved in and out of the stack layer in a decentralized way, and the new one-to-one Bitcoin backed asset called as SBTC enables Stacks smart contract to write on Bitcoin, and Stack powers atomic BTC swaps and assets owned by BTC addresses, and Stacks guys uses Clarity programming language for safe, decidable smart contracts. And what I think makes Stacks really unique is that Stacks has knowledge of the full Bitcoin state thanks to its proof of transfer and Clarity, enabling it to read from Bitcoin at any time. And lastly guys, Stacks is a scalable layer that enables fast transactions that settle on Bitcoin. So guys, as I mentioned earlier, the Bitcoin maximalist community is kind of divided on this. Some Bitcoin maximalists like the idea of Stacks, whereas some of them don't like the idea. In fact, one of my favorite YouTubers called Crypto Aras has definitely dismissed Stacks several times, but this was before 2023, but lately I'm pretty much sure he's changed his stance on this. So if you do want to find out more information regarding Stacks, go to stacks.co. Now guys, let's discuss some massive news, and this is all the way from Germany, and Deutsche Bank has applied for a license to offer a crypto custody service, and the largest bank in Germany is seeking regulatory approval to offer custody services for digital assets, including cryptocurrencies. And Deutsche Bank executive David Lane did actually explain to Bloomberg that the digital asset move is part of the giant lender's broader strategy to boost the fee income, and they have submitted an application to the country's Federal Financial Supervisory Authority, also called as BFAN, and they are seeking regulatory approval to offer custody services for digital assets, including cryptocurrencies. But guys, listen, it's so important to truly understand, not your keys, not your crypto. And Andreas Antonopoulos has been preaching this for a very, very long time. And guys, listen, what I really recommend you to do is read the Bitcoin white paper, because the second line of Bitcoin white paper actually reads, but the main benefits are lost if a trusted third party is still required to prevent double spending, but nonetheless making it easier for an average person to, let's say, keep custody of the services in a centralized entity such as Deutsche Bank might turn out to be a good idea. Now guys, let's discuss some news regarding Metaverse and Bitcoin blockchain, and this theory guys is called as Bitmap theory. So what happened is that Decrypt did actually post an article that states that the Metaverse is coming to Bitcoin, and mind you guys, we are talking about an entire industry being built on Bitcoin. And there is a theory called as Bitmap theory, and the project revolves around the idea that people can own individual blocks, leading to an inscription frenzy. And this goes back to the whole trend of ordinal inscriptions being built on Bitcoin blockchain, and Bitmap guys offers a way for individuals to claim ownership over Bitcoin blocks, and according to its pseudonymous creator, who is called as Bitoshi Blockamoto, the open source standard could integrate any block into part of the Metaverse. Now, he did actually mention this via his Twitter account, and what he actually said is that Bitmap is a revolution. You can now claim ownership of blocks on Bitcoin. And to be honest guys, this actually does seem like a joke. Now personally, having the entire Metaverse industry in a Bitcoin blockchain will sound great, but you need to look at it from a user experience point of view, because when you talk about Metaverse experience guys, the user experience has to be 10 times better than what you're currently experiencing. Now the idea that Blockamoto said is that not only can Bitcoin blocks be inscribed, but platforms can also pass this data into a 3D realm. Now granted, this is possible, and what this will essentially do is it'll allow for owners to distribute fractionalized transactions to others, and this probably might work, let's say, in transferring NFTs, but having an entire experience built on Bitcoin blockchain might sound like a good idea. But once again guys, you need to focus on the quality of experience. The new experience in the Metaverse has to be 10 times better, and this is a classic example of what Apple did. If you actually look at the augmented reality glasses and then let's say compare it with current existing systems, they're definitely offering a 10x better improvement, and that's one of the reasons guys I do feel that Metaverse should be in the hands of centralized entity. Now what that tweet actually does actually state is that users can build on top of Bitcoin blocks, becoming contributors to the Metaverse, and ultimately creating a vibrant community-driven space. To be honest, guys, a lot of people have actually fallen to the idea. It looks like over 500,000 people have definitely got and bought this idea of Metaverse to be built on Bitcoin blockchain, and looks like they've also purchased some of the NFTs as well. And talking about NFTs, guys, Bitcoin.com has reported that NFT sales for this week have experienced a rise of 11.60% compared to the previous week. Moreover, the number of individuals purchasing NFTs in the past 7 days has jumped by 95.20%. This is absolutely huge. And now the total number of buyers of NFTs have reached 664,096 buyers. And guys, if you want to look at the data is available via cryptoslam.io. And on the 20th of Jan, they did actually publish a report which stated that they have seen a modest increase in NFT sales with a record total of just over $146 million. So it looks like NFTs are definitely making a comeback, and one of the wokest retail giant called as Nike, they are also aggressively in the NFT game, and Nike's Web3 community platform called Deutsche has teamed up with the popular online multiplayer game Fortnite to offer a virtual experience that will reward players with digital stickers. And guys, this brings a massive audience for Nike's Deutsche, with over 240 million users logging into Fortnite in the past 30 days itself alone. And CoinDesk, guys, they actually mentioned that Airforia, which is a collaboration between Nike and Fortnite creator Epic Games and branded game builder Beyond Creative, will be available to play in Fortnite from now through June 27th, and all Fortnite players, guys, who play this island for 10 minutes or more will receive MX1, which is the 86 back bling digital sneaker within Fortnite. So absolutely powerful stuff. And look, guys, use cases such as this will definitely help users engage for a longer time as well. Now, guys, let's discuss two news from Dubai, UAE and the Middle East. And the first news, guys, is all the way from Abu Dhabi. And Abu Dhabi University did actually hold a blockchain hackathon event to advance students' future-proof knowledge. And Abu Dhabi University hosted the first Fire Web3 and blockchain hackathon. And guys, the hackathon aimed to enhance students' knowledge of blockchain and innovation, and it was organized in collaboration with Fire. And Fire is spelled as the number 5 instead of an F, which is a 5th generation blockchain ecosystem. And MetaDecrypt, an industry-leading metaverse and blockchain development company, had also partnered with the event. And guys, I do have an interview with the CEO and founder of MetaDecrypt, Richard Patel, so please feel free to check it out. And 50 teams across 9 universities across UAE participated in the hackathon, and Abu Dhabi University's Department of Computer Science and Informational Technology organized this particular event. And students and academics, guys, were introduced to Web3 and blockchain technology, and technologies such as MetaMask, NFT, Firechain, Ethereum, and IPFS were utilized during the event, and participants received expert guidance, valuable resources and networking opportunities, and a workshop on Web3, blockchain technologies and entrepreneurship was also conducted, and the workshop aimed to integrate breakthrough technologies in academia, and students were encouraged to apply their creativity to develop innovative solutions using Web3 and blockchain technology. And Professor Murad Al-Hadaf highlighted the importance of the hackathon in empowering a next generation of developers, and Dr. Murad Al-Rajab emphasized the potential of Web3 and blockchain for sustainability. And Pratik Gaurikas, who is the founder and CEO of Firechain, expressed the commitment to empower the next generation of Web3 pioneers. And Richard Patel, guys, the Web3 ecosystem and growth advisor for Firechain, and also the CEO and founder of MetaDecrypt, highlighted the success of the hackathon and connections established with other universities, and an award ceremony recognized the winners of the hackathon as well. And Abu Dhabi University, guys, secured the second place position among the winning teams, and the winning projects focused on cryptocurrency and sustainability. And the second news, guys, is to do with artificial intelligence. And Dubai Center for Artificial Intelligence, also called as DCAI, forms task force within 30 government entities in Dubai. And the task force aims to leverage artificial intelligence and transform government operations and services. And DCAI was inaugurated by Sheikh Hamdad bin Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum to enhance Dubai's vision of advanced technology. And the task forces will support Dubai Center of Artificial Intelligence initiatives and projects promoting collaboration and knowledge sharing, and focus areas include identifying sectors benefiting from artificial intelligence and determining technologies to enhance government performance. And DCAI, guys, aims to publish partnership with the public and private organizations to explore future opportunities and enhance government services. And the center aims to make Dubai a global model in employing advanced technologies within the government sector. And task forces consist of national talent from different government entities with expertise in artificial intelligence, And guys, listen, teams will develop artificial intelligence-based application to enhance entity performance and explore regulatory frameworks and policies. And DCAI, guys, is based in Area 2071 in Dubai and is overseen by Dubai Future Foundation, Dubai Electricity and Water Authority, Dubai Media Council, and Dubai Digital Authority as well. And DCAI, guys, focuses on deploying the future technologies across key sectors, and the initiative aligns with Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum's directives to apply artificial intelligence in various sectors, and the generative artificial intelligence sector is expected to grow significantly by 2030. Now listen guys, the connection to blockchain and Web 3.0 is not directly mentioned in this news. However, Dubai's focus on advanced technology and innovation suggests potential future integration of blockchain and Web 3.0 in government operations, and blockchain and Web 3.0 technologies, guys, could definitely enhance data security, transparency, and efficiency in government services, as long as the blockchain technology that they use is completely open source. And by embracing these technologies, guys, Dubai as a city could benefit from improved governance, increased trust, and enhanced economic growth. And the combination of artificial intelligence, blockchain, and Web 3.0 can enable Dubai to become a global leader in adopting cutting-edge technologies and drive overall excellence and prosperity. Now listen guys, what I did was, all this information I put it in ChatGPT, and I asked ChatGPT, using artificial intelligence, can you frame a question? So let me ask this question, okay? So here it goes. Based on the establishment of task forces within 30 government entities by Dubai Center of Artificial Intelligence, also called as DCAI, what additional measures or initiatives can be taken to further accelerate the adoption and implementation of artificial intelligence in government operations and services, ultimately enhancing efficiency and driving innovation in Dubai? What are your thoughts, guys? Mention them in the comments below. And if I do actually like the answer, what I'm going to do is in the next episode that I'll release, I'll definitely go ahead and mention your name and mention your comments as well. So those were the news, guys, from Crypto and Coffee 88 from Blockchain DXB. In case if you have any feedback or suggestions, drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com. Check out my website www.blockchaindxb.com, and also check out my other website, that is area2071.com, that talks everything about Metaverse. And if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. Now for the next few minutes, this is going to be an Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. So let's get started with the Ask Me Anything series. Hey everyone, it's Josh from Blockchain DXB. You're listening to the Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. I have a question by Sophie who asks, is Bitcoin ETF related news the reason why the price is pumped up? Now partially the answer to that is yes, Sophie, because BlackRock is if not one of the biggest giants, be it let's say wholesale or retail or even finance industry, and them getting into the Bitcoin ETF related news has definitely pumped up the price. So to answer your question, Bitcoin ETF is definitely one of the news. But apart from that news, another news, Sophie, that I think is because of the US debt ceiling. Now mind you, Sophie, little over a month ago, there was this massive threat about US defaulting on its debt. And if the US debt ceiling was not increased, the impact would be absolutely catastrophic, probably the biggest impact in the history of finance in the entire world. Now fortunately, or should I say unfortunately, the US debt ceiling has not been increased, and that thing has just been delayed. So it could be possible that in the next 3 to 5 years, we might be facing a much tougher situation that we're facing right now. But to answer your question, Bitcoin ETF is definitely one reason. But the second reason, Sophie, is that because the US debt ceiling limit is increased, and if I'm not mistaken, roughly $1.5 trillion worth of leeway has been given. And how do you get that leeway, or let's say raise the US debt ceiling, is simply by injecting new money, which just means that roughly $1.5 trillion of new money is going to be entered into the US, and the impact of this actually multiplies. So this $1.5 trillion is utilized for businesses, the business tends to make more money, and so on and so forth. And because of that, Sophie, I definitely do feel that the global cryptocurrency market has pumped up as well. So it's a combination of these things. And look, 2024 is going to be really critical as well, because there's going to be US election, and at the same time there is Bitcoin halving event as well. And because of this news, I wouldn't be surprised if we would be heading towards a bullish market. But once again, Sophie, the cryptocurrency world is absolutely crazy, and there are also talks right now that if BlackRock was the reason why they actually forced SEC to go after cryptocurrency exchanges to bring the price of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies down so that they can go ahead and accumulate more of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised knowing the notorious history of BlackRock and the affiliation with left-leaning ideologies that they would definitely be part of it. But to answer your question, yes, Bitcoin-related ETF is definitely one of the reasons. But other than that, at the macro level, if you look at the news surrounding the US debt ceiling, that is another reason. And then also the inflation is dying down, and most likely we may not be seeing another interest rate hike, possibly for the next month or 2 months. And the combination of these factors are definitely the reason why the price of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies are slowly pumping up. And mind you, there's Bitcoin having come up in roughly around 300 days. So a combination of these reasons are probably the reason why the price of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies has pumped up. And I'm definitely hoping that that trend continues. So that's all, guys, from the Ask Me Anything series on Blockchain DXB. In case if you have any feedback or suggestions, drop me an email to info@blockchaindxb.com. Check out my website www.blockchaindxb.com, and also check out my other website area2071.com that talks everything about Metaverse. And if you like listening to this podcast, please click on the follow button, give it a 5-star rating, and share the word across. And remember, guys, Monday to Thursdays, 8 a.m. to 8:30 a.m., we have Crypto and Coffee at 8, where we cover top news and information pertaining to Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. And of this series of episodes on the Crypto and Coffee at 8 works is, we usually cover some top news and information pertaining to the price of cryptocurrencies, some major breaking news, occasionally short and sweet news as well, news that has an impact in the cryptocurrency world. The other two news and information is related to Dubai, UAE, and Middle East in the world of Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. And what you're listening to right now is the Ask Me Anything series, where you listeners can ask any questions regarding Bitcoin, blockchain, beyond blockchain, cryptocurrencies, NFTs, DeFi, and Metaverse. So thanks so much for listening, guys, and have a nice one. Bye-bye.